hypocrisy. Remember when lawmakers were bashing bank executives for their expensive junkets earlier this year? Well, now those lawmakers are doing it too, and we are paying for it. Take this lavish trip to Scotland, for example. A dozen members of Congress with their spouses and their aides spending 5 nights in one of the priciest hotels overlooking Edinburgh Castle. It cost us $2,500 a day for transportation, including a Mercedes minivan to meetings and tourist spots. Wayne, this was a bipartisan group that went over there for this NATO assembly. They said that they learned about issues and concerns from other countries. Maybe they should have had a conference call? I don't know.
What they should do is read a little. You know, you're talking about a group of morons here. I mean, it's impossible. They can't pass a bill that, you know, they can't read this bill. The bill is 2,000 pages long. They're going to try to rush it through. These are people that are totally out of control, like John says. We are being played as taxpayers. We're being played for suckers. That's all. They don't care about you.
Wayne,
they don't care about me. They don't care about anybody
you're
but
so
themselves.
Angry.
That's all they care about.
Jonathan?
You're so angry that they're spending $300 a night on a hotel room, Wayne. That's what's got you so pissed off that they wanted to rent a car to get a tour of the city. Let them go. I mean, this is a pittance. You're making such a big deal about $13 million. I'd rather have them in Scotland, Cheryl. At least they're not enacting new multi-trillion-dollar entitlement programs. I prefer they be out of Washington.
Hold on a
they
second.
can't spend our
Let
money.
me tell you what, hold on, guys.
Wait.
Let's get back to what they spent, because it was $1,500, Jonathan, per room. Then they rented 3 different rooms just for snacks.
They
At least
bought
they
their own
ordered
scotch,
Coors
though.
beer. I mean, they had 3 empty rooms
Yeah,
just
I
for
don't
food
think
and
you
beer.
know how bankers travel in America, but they don't stay at Sheraton's and get out of minivans,
It's
just
their
for the record.
dime.
And I'm not
No,
saying
they
that's
don't.
bad, because most of the time they earn that money through those late fees. But the bottom line is, it is symptomatic of waste. It isn't a lot of money. Jonathan's right, but Wayne's also right, because it's an attitude that, like, they're like the dukes, and they get to just kind of spend money the way they want. And I'll tell you what else it has. It makes it very difficult for Republicans who are doing this to take a stance against budgets and waste later. And it's one of the reasons the Republican Party hasn't done very good to fight
Let me
this.
tell you something, Tracy. Let me tell you something. When you and I know a lot of bankers, when they travel commercial, these guys flew on Air Force jets. They had military escorts every left and right. I mean, you can't tell me that was a good way to spend taxpayer money.
No, it's egregious, Cheryl. And the worst part is the Wall Street Journal does this piece on their trip to Edinburgh, a whopping 8 days before Christmas, when many families don't have the money to put gifts under the tree. And to add insult to injury, there are some members that went out there that were supposed to be at the meeting. Carolyn McCarthy, for instance, from New York, she left and went to the spa. The meeting apparently wasn't worth her time after all. So she didn't even attend the meeting that we paid for her to be at. Look, I get these guys have to travel, and I get they should travel first class, but don't be so egregious about it.
Steve, to Tracy's point, and by the way, she did say, Tracy, that she had a bed back. That was the reason. But actually, 11 of 12 of them, Steve, did leave early, even after prepaying for all of the rooms and all this. So hold on. I'm going to Steve. Steve?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to excuse. Some of this is absolutely unexcusable. But to a point that's not brought up, you know, people talked about the $300 a night hotel room. You can't put 12 Congress people in a low-price motel. I mean, for one thing, they're not equipped.
$1,500 per room, Steve.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that they had to
3
spend.
rooms for food and drink.
I'm not saying that they had to rent the presidential suite. But you know, the nicer hotels are equipped to handle the security concerns of these people. Let's not forget, 12 U.S. congressmen traveling overseas are an exquisite target for Al Qaeda and other people.
Oh, wait.
But that being said, I understand $1,500 a night. Over the top.
You got to understand, though, this is symptomatic of morons, just like what Wayne's talking about. These guys bought Gulfstream private planes to go visit the troops. I have been to Iraq and Afghanistan 8 times. 8 times.
Yeah.
I flew with Paul Bremer. Fly military. The security is better. They want some Gulfstream jet to take them there. The hypocrisy of this administration, these politics in general, it crosses party lines, is astounding. These guys are talking to the banks about being over-levered. They have levered our country to where it's on the brink of bankruptcy.
Wayne, let me give you something here. And you were saying $300 a room, and you're right. It was $1,500 total for all the food and drink rooms. I guess that makes it better.
I don't really. I don't really care about that. Jonathan's right in that sense. They're going to boondoggle us to death anyway. They play you for a sucker. It doesn't matter. You know, there were 8,500 earmarks, for example, in the bill that McCain tried to knock out last year. He got voted down 2-1, as it were. This year in this omnibus bill, there are 1,700 earmarks. I recall President Obama saying when he came in, no more earmarks. Well, where are they? The Congress is going to spend all of our money. They don't care about you or me or anybody.
Wayne,
Steve, all due respect to you, they don't care about you either.
But Wayne, honestly, Wayne, when you used to go do a movie, okay, you go to some far-off location to do a movie, did you buy your own plane ticket? No, the studio bought the plane ticket. And
Wayne's
that's exactly
movies
what
make
this
money.
is. I actually think Steve is... I think Steve is right. I mean, I don't want our elected representatives staying in some flea-bit motel. They should be staying in a good motel.
They should, Jonathan, but they shouldn't be going to the spa, and they shouldn't be getting, top-of-the-line
They paid for their own spa treatments.
No, you don't know. You know what?
They bought
It's
their
the
own scotch.
egregiousness
They paid
of
for their
it.
own spa
Jonathan,
treatments.
it's the egregiousness of it. You were supposed to go out there to a meeting. You were supposed to be educating yourself about another country. Instead, you're getting a facial? I don't think so. Not on my dime.
All right, Tracy needs to make her spa appointment after the show, so we're going to leave it there. Coming up as the Copenhagen Climate Conference